Hello, I'm Nina from ninasoap.com. I'd like to talk to you today about our debt payment journey. I believe it was around 2013 that my husband and we started looking for a house to purchase. And at that time, we had a lot of credit card debts. He has student loan, and he leased a car. So when we went to the bank to ask for a loan, we were denied. We went to more than one banks, and they couldn't give us a loan. They said that our debt income ratio was too high. So our debt, was too high compared to our income, and we couldn't get a loan. And at that time, I was working part-time. I was substitute teach. I substitute taught. I work at Walmart, and I work at Wendy's as well. So part-time, and I work around my husband's schedule. But between both of us, we didn't make enough. So we used most of his income to pay for the rent and utilities, and I use credit cards to buy food, to buy some of our groceries. So that increased over time. My credit card debt went up, and I believe around that time, my debt, at one point, my credit card debt was well over $4,000. And around the same time, I believe it was around 2009, that he got scammed, and somebody charged his credit card for $12,000 to teach us internet marketing, and they charged him an additional 900 to teach him how to request 0% interest credit card, a new credit card, to move the debt on it while he's paying it off. So and the whole thing was just, at that time I was looking for a job, and having $12,000 debt was just too much for us to handle. So I asked him to dump the whole things, and I just started looking for a job. So I found a job at Wendy's, later at Walmart, and a few years later I stopped to store at high school and middle school. But between all those part-time jobs and his full-time job, we didn't make enough. So when we started looking for a loan to buy a house and we denied, at that time, I reconsidered the way we are spending, and I started paying close attention to it. So we decided around 2017, in fact before that, around 2013 is when we look for the loan. So in 2014, I found a job, a full-time job, and then we start taking our debt payment seriously. Before that, we are paying more than the minimum to our credit cards, but not much over the minimum. So when I found a job, we decided to pay our debt quickly, and we decided to stop using our credit cards. One of the reasons why my credit card debt went up, besides buying groceries, I spent quite a bit online buying clothes with the hope that I would find a job. So I was buying office outfits, but thinking back now, it was not a good idea. I shouldn't have put those on a credit card. So, and after I found the full-time job that I'm working in now, we decided to take our payment seriously. We were granted a loan, and we purchased the house we are in. And for the house, when we were looking, My husband wanted a brand new house, but we were not allowed, we were not approved for a high amount of loan. And when he was told how much the house he was looking for, how much the mortgage would cost a month, he was so disappointed that he wanted us to just continue renting until we could afford it. And I decided that no, we should look for a fixer-upper that we will be able to afford. The rent will be, the mortgage will be about the rent we were paying at that time. So our rent at that time was about $675, and the mortgage when we purchased this house was around $850. That includes the property tax as well and the PMI. So we, that's how we started. Once I found a job and once we purchased this house, we decided to take things more seriously. From day one, when we moved in, I took over, the mortgage payment. I decided to pay the mortgage while my husband pays other bills. So, and then we decided that we'll pay more than the minimum toward the mortgage. And every year on the house anniversary, we will increase it by $50, because when we are living in the rental property, the owner increased the rents about every year. So we use the same approach with the mortgage. At the same time, we decided to use a strategy to pay off our credit card debts. We tried different strategy, but what worked better for us is this. We sat down, we were doing everything at the same time, investing and paying all the debt at the same time. But then, everything was taking time. So we decided to slow down on investing, and we went through our budget. We set a dollar amount that we think we can live on every month. And that amount, including the mortgage, fitted well within my income. So we decided to use my husband's income to pay our debts. And by that time, my credit card debt was paid off. So we have his credit card debt about $5,000 left. By 2017, that's when we start this strategy. And at that time, we have car loan about $5,000 as well, and student loan about $11,000. So our debt by 2017 was about $23,000, and we decided that we are going to live on my income, pay all our living expenses, including the mortgage, with my income, and we will use my husband's income to pay the debt. We list them down, and we started with the credit cards. And among the credit cards, I believe he has like two or three, and we listed by we pay the lowest balance first. So we pay minimum on all the debts, and we pull all the extra toward the lowest balance. And when that one is paid off, we move to the next lowest balance until we pay off all his credit cards debt. When we are done with the credit cards, we move to the car loan, and we use the same strategy. We pay the minimum toward the student loan, and then we use the remaining of his income to pay the car loan every month until it was paid off, and then we move to his student loan. So we use that strategy until we pay off all the debt by August 2018. So when we pay all those debts, we decided to move to our living expenses to his income. So his income will support our living expenses, and my income will be used in full to pay our mortgage every month. By that time, our bank services switch the whoever was holding our mortgage loan multiple times. They send us the letter, and I was not comfortable that the bank was trading our mortgage like that. It's a shelter. Our house is a shelter for our family, and I didn't really want to gamble with it. So we decided to use my income to pay the house in full. We have businesses, and one of them needed some capital. So every month we might put probably $500 toward our business, and all the remaining income will go toward the mortgage. And we have done it from August 2018 up to now. And right about September 2019, my husband was a victim of identity theft and found himself in more than $15,000 debts. So that affected our plan a little bit, and we thought about different options, and what we decided is we will continue to apply my income, one full income, toward our mortgage every month, and we will fit the credit card payments and our living expenses within his income. So our living expenses before then was $13,340 a month. But then when we have $15,000 on credit cards, we decided to trim our expenses, and we trim it down to $1,064 a month, and that free some room for us to pay the credit card all within the same income. And the reason why I decided to do that is, well, if we in case of loss of a job, we don't wish it, and we couldn't pay our mortgage, the bank will take it back. But if we pay off the mortgage but we couldn't pay off the credit card company might put a lien on the house. In case we sell it, they might want to have a share of it, but they won't take the house from us. And it's very important that we keep a roof over our head. For that reason, I decided to focus on the mortgage payment as we originally planned, and we have been doing that. It's been working okay. We stopped saving for irregular expenses. We used to put $350 in saving for irregular expenses, but since the new credit card debts, we stopped doing that so that we can focus all the energy toward the debt payment. But if we have an expense, we could for that month pay the minimum toward the mortgage and use the remaining amount to face that expense. That's how we have been on our debt payment journey. Thank you for watching. I wish this helps you in your journey as well.